Hey everyone, it's Alexis. I hope you are doing well today. I am here to share the Hobby Lobby Fall Reset with you all. We have a few exclusive items going into their stores, and they are actually all available right now. On top of that, we have some storage solutions and Tim Holtz and some of those classic icons that you're going to need for the fall and winter months ahead. On top of not only having some exclusives, they are also going to be carrying our shaker panes and a few of our holiday favorites, which I'm going to go through everything. So I will be walking you through all of the stuff that's going to be available right now at Hobby Lobby stores. And if you have any questions about any of the SKUs I'm showing, please just pop it in the comments below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Now, let's get into what we can see in the fall Hobby Lobby reset. These first three die sets, well, really they're stamp framelit sets and an embossing folder, but these first three sets are all exclusive to Hobby Lobby. So you will only be able to purchase them at Hobby Lobby. I just want to preface that. There's only three of them. I'm really excited to show you what they are and to give you some ideas on what you can do with them for the upcoming holiday seasons. Up first in our exclusive dies and folders is the 3D embossing folder called Snowflakes. Now, this is probably one of the most intricate embossing folders I think I've ever worked with. And when I say that these turn out so beautiful and the detail on them is incredible. So what I love about this is that this is an all over pattern. You get a variety of different looking snowflakes, both in size and shape and design. So you can really add quite a bit to your holiday card making or tags or gift wrap, whatever you might be using these for. And you really don't have to add much to them. So for example, what I did with this one is I first inked my background paper. This is a white piece of paper, and I inked it with a light blue and ran it through the machine and embossed this panel, and then went back over the snowflakes with a dark navy. And so I really was able to complete like a very simple thing quickly. Now, what I could have done before I embossed was cut the panel down into tag shapes and then run it through, and I would have had really festive embossed tags that I could have added to any kind of winter items that I might want to send out with gifts, or anything that you might want to wrap like around a candy bar, just something that you can add a little bit of festiveness to in the upcoming holiday days. Next are two stamp framelit sets. One is by Lisa Jones and the other one is by Olivia Rose. This first one is called Candle Jar, which is stunning. And then we also have the winter scene ornament. Now the candle jar, like I said, these are stamp framelit sets. So you're going to get all the thinlits that cut out these shapes. But then in addition to that, you're also going to get stamps that go on the poinsettias and on the frame around the candle jar and around the flames and the actual wicks of the flames. And then you get this nice kind of base piece that you can put inside the frame, but I'll show you in just a minute. I did one where I did it outside the frame. So you get a really kind of cute scene that you can put on cards, or you can just make as individual tags. Then we have the winter ornament scene. I love an ornament that has it looks like it has a village inside. It reminds me of those really festive snow globes that you would get as a kid or you'd see in the stores. And so there's something so beautiful about creating a winter wonderland inside of the ornaments. So again, with this one, you're going to get stamps that you can put on the trees, stamps to decorate the house, so like a little bit of a log cabin. You're going to get the ornament shape itself and the top of the bauble right there, and there's some little holly that you can add as well. There's also a sentiment in here called Season's Greetings, or it's not called, it is Season's Greetings. I wanted to show you quickly a couple different options that you could do with this one. So first things first, you don't have to do a daytime scene, you can do a nighttime scene. So you could do a dark navy blue or black, and then you could add the kind of stars in a silver embossing powder, which would look so pretty, and add the holly to the top of the ornament, which I did here. So you can do that. You can also just use the shape. So this one, I did a stripe pattern. I took 4 different colored cardstocks. I laid them down piece by piece on a piece of cardstock, and then I die cut the shape out of it, stamped Season's Greetings on it, and I actually want to use these as tags on gifts. So for like special gifts that I want to decorate, I would do something like this and add it as a tag on the gift. You can also make really beautiful card fronts. You can see with this one, I just took the shape of the ornament and then I embossed it with that snowflake folder, added a little bit of luster wax on it. And then I would probably add a bit of foliage and some flowers to this and do a stamp sentiment. And then I would send them out for my cards for the holiday season. Now with this one, I did 2 different versions of it. I did one where the jar is enclosed and it's kind of very traditional colors. You get browns and reds and greens. I sculpted the poinsettias a little bit. I layered up the candles and sides instead of just doing the 2. These are connected pieces, but then you get this layering element right here on the top. So I just did them all in the same color, added some of those stamps around the edges. And I also, in this case, instead of using this background piece inside right here, I did it to the outside. Let me flip this over so you can see, to make it look like it was a jar standing on its own. So you really can kind of play with these a little bit. You could also just use the jar and create your own scene inside without the candles. Maybe you have another cute little die set that would work in it. I also did this one where I just did more like fun, bright aquas and pink colors. So you don't have to necessarily do traditional holiday colors. You can have fun with it. And I honestly want to just kind of do a hole punch right here and attach this to all my holiday gifts. I love the idea of having some really pretty tags for the holidays.
The next few items are items you may have seen before, and that is because they were fan favorites, bestsellers at Hobby Lobby, so they wanted to bring them back for a second round. So these were all previously released with Hobby Lobby, but they're going to be picking them up again, so why not show you what else is going to be available. So these next ones, they're fun, they're cutesy, and they'll give you just the right edge for holiday gift giving and card making.
This next bunch is full of fan favorites, and these are all have previously been released at Hobby Lobby, so some of them might look familiar to you. But up first, we have the gingerbread home. So this is a very sweet and simple gingerbread house. I love that you get the main piece and then you have these layering elements. You really can make this quickly and you can customize it to whatever colors you want, and then you've got a nice sweet sentiment. It's called Home for Christmas here. I just did a very simple gingerbread house card right here, and it took a matter of minutes, and then I added a few, like some glitter around the edges of the roof and the tree line to make it look a little bit more sparkly for the holidays. But let's say you wanted something a little bit more cutesy. I feel like this one's kind of a little bit more illustrative and doodle effect. But this next one just makes me want to move right in, and it has the sweetest little details. So this one's called House, but what I love about this one, and it could work for the same for the other one as well, is you can use this year round if you wanted to. So you don't have to add the Christmas lights, you don't have to use the snowman. As you can see, all of these elements are basically a sweet little house. So if you wanted to do like we moved cards or welcome to your new home or anything where you're just sending a sweet sentiment to somebody, like I miss you, you can do this, and you can pick and choose whether you want to add this string of lights on, and then you can pick and choose if you want to add these little pieces right here that make it look like there's snow falling on the houses. I love the little curtains in the window. I don't know if you can see them, but there's so many cute details in this particular one. Here's a card I did with a little bit of pattern. I went very kind of dark and traditional for this. Add whatever sentiment you might have. Added another like label shape around the back to make that stand out. But again, I just chose different colors for the house with the string of lights. So you can see how you can customize it to whatever you might want it to look like. Now let's say you just want some cutesy animals. This one was one of my favorites that we did last year. It's called Robins in Hats. So this is what it looks like in the packaging. And as you can see, they are just the sweetest set of robins. I did not do them in traditional robin colors because, as you can imagine, you can do these in red, you can do them in black, you could do them in blue. These particular birds don't necessarily have to be decorated with the scarves and the kind of like more wintry accessories, if you will. So you could use these any time of the year if you wanted to, because who doesn't love a bird in a boot? The rain boots kill me on this one. I love it. So I went a little bit more dark on this one. You can see how they all have their own little personalities, so you can create your own scenes if you wanted to. I can imagine these in a little cute home decor frame, in a scene, all of them in a row, just doing their own little personality things, whether they're jumping, or you could add other little die cuts that you might have, or die sets that you might have, that you can customize them with other holiday ornaments. I just love, this is one of my favorites that we've come out with in a long time. This next one is perfect for gift giving. It's called Character Tags. So you get this little set right here, and it makes all of these different tags. So you get the base shape, and then you get all these layering elements. So you can create a Santa, an elf, you've got the snowman, a penguin, a reindeer. But let's say you didn't want to use any of these, you could just use the tag for gifts all year round too. So I loved being able to take something that kind of might feel more holiday oriented and show you different ways that you can use it instead of just at the holidays. Then we've got this sweet little one called Catching Snowflakes. You've got a little girl standing here with her hands out and all these snowflakes falling into it. This is such a sweet one for winter, and I can see this on scrapbook pages for, let's say you go up to the mountains and your kids are playing in the snow. I can also see it just as a sweet winter card, or like sending you holiday wishes, sending you holiday magic. So you can just, and what's nice is all of these layering pieces, you can customize the girl's hair, the skin tone, the outfit that she's wearing, the colors. It's all customizable. The last one of the holiday, we'll say like the Christmas winter ones, is this really fun tree called the Embellished Christmas Tree. And this one is, I wanted to do non-traditional colors. I love non-traditional colors at the holidays. So I went more like aqua and pink tones on this. So I did a card, you can see, I basically took this exact same tree, put it on a card. And what's really cool about this is if you don't want to use these flowering elements, you can just use the tree. So the tree you could run through an embossing folder and then have an embossed tree, as it is super simple, especially if you're doing bulk card making. But if you want to get very detailed and send out some special cards, you can add the wreath, and then all these layering flowers are part of the die set, as well as the sentiment deck the halls. Now, before we get ahead of ourselves to kind of Christmas and winter, we have the season of fall, which we have beautifully entered and is my favorite season. And we've got two different sets that we're bringing into Hobby Lobby that will help you with those fall kind of makes. So the first one is called Winter Nature. It's a small little die set, as you can see, but look at all the possibilities with this one. So you get some different color mushrooms, or not different color, different size mushrooms that you can create in different colors. You also get some fall leaves, some acorns, this really beautiful fern, and then some tall kind of florals with layering elements so that you can customize to those fall tones if you want to. I also think this would look really pretty in the spring and during the summer months as well. I know mushrooms used to grow in my yard as a kid all through the summer. So you can absolutely use this outside of just fall, but obviously they're perfect for fall makes. I can see these especially being used around Thanksgiving. Then we have a sweet little animal set called Woodland Nature. And you can see, I'm just showing you the packaging so you can see the size of the packaging, but then I actually have them out so you can see the full size of what they look like. So these are some really sweet little animals. I will say this, when you're putting these together, all of the elements for each animal are all on the same die. So you're not having to search around for these tiny little ears and the layering elements on the tail. They are all on the same die to complete the raccoon. What I like about these is simple tonal changes allow you to create different looking kind of animals. So I did we did a lighter bunny rabbit here. I did a darker one here. We did a kind of a brown fox here. I did an orange fox here. Right here, I did a darker gray for that particular raccoon. And then you've also got these little patches of grass, some leaves, and then the mushrooms. So again, you can really make this very fall, but this could be new baby. What I did right here is I made just a sweet little card. It's a boy, and I put the fox. I cut an aperture into the front of this card, stamped a sentiment, put it on the inside, and then just used that as a wreath with this small foliage piece right here. So this took me all of 10 minutes to put together. So you can say, welcome baby. You could do, hello, I miss you. Just make really cutesy kind of things. I also can imagine if you had like a woodland birthday party, putting these on a little tag as a treat favor.
These next two dies are available as part of our Chapter 4 release, so if you want to see more ideas and project inspiration for them, be sure to check out our Chapter 4 overview that Jess and Josh will be doing here very shortly. But I do want to show you a little bit of inspiration and show you the two dies from Chapter 4 that will also be available at Hobby Lobby.
These two die sets are a part of our Chapter 4 release, and so you'll be able to find more inspiration for them in our upcoming Chapter 4 overview video that Jess and Josh will be doing here. And I just wanted to quickly show how to assemble the seasonal gift box right here. So this one is really nice. It is a very decent sized gift box. I just want to show one of them in my hand so you can see. You can absolutely fit a small gift in here, gift cards, cash, whatever you might want to give as some kind of holiday treat for the holiday season. But you can also kind of make them every day, which is what's great about this die set. I want to show you quickly what it kind of looks like when all the pieces are together. So you get this big frame piece, which is what you're going to cut twice to create the actual box itself. And then you've got all of these different kind of layering elements. Some of them like a Christmas tree or a regular tree. You've got one right here that adds grass and flowers. You've got a scalloped roof if you want to add that on. You've got windows and doors. You've got stuff that's hearts or squirrel kind of looking elements. You also get something that will make it look like Christmas lights on the tree. If you want to add those to the tree, you've got a small wreath for the front door, and you can change out the wreath with flowers or with holly, so depending on what time of year you want to use it. I do want to show you how to assemble this, so I'm just going to pull this off to the side and bring in my foldaway machine. So you're going to want this piece right here, which is the frame for the house. And I'm gonna just take a piece of cardstock and I'm gonna cut these down quickly to size just so that I can cut exactly what I need. So you're gonna cut this piece 2 times. I'm gonna run it through once. And what's nice is that this particular die, that cracking noise is totally normal. Just means that your die is cutting the paper. What's nice about these particular dies is that they have score lines in them. So if you look closely, you can see where you're going to be able to fold all of your pieces. So we're just going to cut one more piece, and then I'll show you how to put it together. now I've got my 2 pieces. And let's move these off to the side. So what I like to do with this one in particular is I like to fold them first. So I will fold along my score lines. Not all of them I'll do very like hard. Some of them you're gonna see are a little bit more faint than others. And that is because they're more of like a crease than a score. Okay. So just literally scoring on all of them. This top one, I'm folding all of them in, but this top one I'm actually gonna fold out, and that's because that's the roof line. So I wanna fold this one away. I am gonna fold these, but this is the one where it gets a little bit tricky. So you're just gonna fold that in on itself and you get a really nice kind of, almost like a milk carton look. You're gonna do the same on this one. You're gonna fold along all of your score and crease lines. I am rushing this. Normally I take a little bit more care with how I'm doing this. Fold. This is the only one I'm going to fold towards me. Everything else I folded away. And then this one, it's in a tricky spot, so I just like to fold in on it. It would help if there we go. Again, you just want to fold on that one. It will fold in on itself, just give it a little bit of time. You'll see you have this outside tab, and that is where we're going to apply our adhesive. I personally prefer to use a liquid adhesive. I just find that it sticks better when you're working with paper. You can use a double-sided tape if you prefer. This is just a personal preference on my end. I like to use a quick drying adhesive. So I'm just going to apply some to this outside tab. And then I'm going to align the bottom line. The 2 kind of mid lines right here are a perfect way to line up the edge of one box with the tab of the other. And then I'm just going to kind of rub this into place. The only thing with liquid, you do have to wait a minute for it to do its thing. Then I'm going to fold this over and I'm going to glue on this side as well, because you have an outer tab over here as well. I'm going to fold that. Make sure I'm lining everything up nice and neat. And then you've got this folded box like this that you can open up. Now, I prefer to adhere the tabs below as well, but again, if you like using double-sided tape, you can do that as well. But I will actually just put adhesive all over. You'll see in a second why I do this like this. And then I will flip it over, and then I'll put my adhesive in it to hold it all in place while it's setting. So once that's dried, mine's kind of messy right now because it's still drying, but once that's dried, you have already pre-scored these kind of pieces, and they're going to pinch close together. And then you will adhere these 2 tabs together. Or if you want to put Velcro there, you could. If you want to punch a hole here, you could do ribbons. It really is kind of up to you how you would prefer to close this at the top. But either way, it's going to close up here. So fill it up with all your treats and your gifts or whatever you might be putting in here, and then just close it like that. What's nice is that this is a great just base shape. So even if you don't want to decorate it as a house, you can decorate it as a milk carton box. So let me show you some of the detailing real quick on some of these trees. Not trees, on these boxes. There's trees on this box. So this one I went more kind of like a gingerbread, fun kind of holiday house, you'll see not only do you get the scalloped roof edge tops, but you get the frames that go over them if you want to make it look like they're icing. You're going to get the door, the wreath, these scroll looking detailings, and then the tree with the base and some stars. And you can also add lights and things to them if you'd like, but really cutesy kind of homes. Then this one, similar feel. I went a little bit more holiday oriented. We went with the wreath on the front door, and then they also have little hearts in the set. So if you want to decorate it and make it like a Valentine's house, you could do that too, which is where I was going with this one. I wanted a very spring, fun, Valentine's-esque kind of house. I left this one open so you can see how the roof lines would go together, and that I could fill it up later if I want to. And again, if you want to just have an everyday home, let's say someone's moved to a new house, or you're moving, or you have a friend that just needs a pick-me-up, you can decorate this like that as well, and just do simple normal colors to make it look like someone's actual customized house. The other set that is part of this is called seasonal trees, and they're pretty decent sized trees. You get 3 different tree bases, and then you get these different seasonal florals, you get hearts. So you can decorate the trees in customizable colors for any season. So you can send 4 seasons cards, but you've also got hearts in here if you want to send Valentine's cards. Just really nice ways to add a little bit of outside and nature into your everyday makes.
Okay. Hope you enjoyed those. I know I certainly did. Now, up next is our shaker panes. Now, these may not be new to all of you watching right now, but for those of you that it is, these shaker panes are a self-contained shaker dome, essentially. So they come in 3 different shapes and sizes in each pack, and I'm going to go through each of those. They're also going to be carrying our framelit sets that work with them and coordinate, and what's great about the shaker panes is that you can use them with pretty much any dice that you'll already have. So I'm going to give you a few project examples so you can see how I've used them both with coordinating die sets that are available on the market as well as not having any die sets whatsoever.
I don't know who doesn't love a good shaker card, and our shaker panes and the matching framelits are the perfect way to add nice, clean dimension to any kind of project that you might be doing. So you'll find at Hobby Lobby that they're going to be carrying our hearts in the shaker panes and in the matching framelits. And that's what they look like in packaging. I just wanted to show that so you know what to look for when you're in the store. But I do have these on boards so that you can actually see them without the glare of packaging. So let me grab that real quick. So up first, we have our hearts. Now the shaker panes are a flat kind of shaker element, as you can see, and the pack comes in 3 different sizes. So you get small, medium, and a large. And what's really nice is they have the adhesive tape already on them, so it's very self-contained, very clean, and easy to put together. We have lots of video support for these, so if this is your first time seeing these and you want to pick them up at Hobby Lobby, we do have videos on our YouTube for Sizzix that will show you how to put them together and all the different ways that you can use them. They also are going to be carrying the framelit sets, and I'm one of those people that firmly believes in nesting shapes being part of everybody's stash. And what I really love about these is that you do get 3 shapes that not only coordinate with these panes so that you can cut out the frames and the backgrounds, but you can just use these on their own, same as these. You don't have to buy both to make them work, which is kind of nice, but it is cool that they work together. But what I like about these is that not only do you get that inner shape that is in and of itself just a framelit shape, but you're also going to get the frames. And this allows you to make your own, I'll show a couple of examples later, but this allows you to make your own kind of backgrounds and shaker elements. If you don't want to use the shaker panes, you can still use acetate behind these. So there's really nice, fun ways to use both the framelits by themselves and also in coordination with the shaker panes. And then you can use the shaker panes by themselves without the framelits. So I wanted to show you a couple quick projects using the heart. So I cut an aperture right here on this particular card. and I just cut in a heart shape right there, and then I put the heart shaker paint behind. You can then decorate it with other heart stamps that you might have, or other thinlet sets or thin die designs, things like that. Really can just make this a very nice and easy project to put together. You can also, if you don't want to cut an aperture, you can just lay it right on top of your card. And this one, I did it self-contained, used it with one of our coordinating die sets that's on the market. But again, if I had another die set that would work with this, I could have added some different florals. I might have had a different background that I could have cut down to size with my framelits. So you really can use them without the coordinating sets if you want to use what's already in your stash. This is another one with a small kind of heart as the butterfly wings. So you can see how beautiful they are from both the small all the way up to the large in different sizes. Then we also have the circles. So same as the hearts, you're going to get 3 different shapes, small, medium, large. Again, you get a really nice size framelit set as well. So these are circles in this case, so you're going to get the framelit shape, and then you're going to get the frames. So again, you can use them with or without the frames, or sorry, with or without the shaker panes. I wanted to show you 2 projects where I didn't use any coordinating sets. I just used the shaker panes and the frames together. So I took some existing stamps and dies that I had and made this Sending Love Your Way card. I did a kind of an inked background and put it inside the card. You can see you can add a panel back here so it covers up, so when you open the card it's really nice and beautiful. This one I just used a stamp set I had which said my favorite color is rainbow, threw in some sequins and beads and called it a day. It's really easy to just use these by themselves without having anything if you just want to have some inks and make some simple cards for people. Another great thing about these is they do have coordinating sets, but I love what you can do just by changing out the colorways. So this is a stamp framelit set right here, but what I love is that I just added glitter into this one, but this one I stuffed full of sequins and beads, but same kind of circle, and I got 2 very different outcomes. Then there's also the ability, which I love, to frame your memories. And so you can send or you can cut down to size photos that maybe are from a special event or from like as a thank you for coming. This is from my friend's bridal shower, so I wanted to send her like she wanted to send a card. And I was like, okay, why don't we put people's pictures inside? So this is a fun little one that you can do without using cardstock or anything like that. You can just use the photo inside the frames as well. Okay, then we have the squares, and it's the same kind of sizing. These are fairly decent size. These are at least 3.5, 4 inches. I want to say right here on the packaging it tells you the sizes of each of the squares. So the largest is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. So you've got an almost 4-inch square here. This one's 2 3/4, and this one's 1 3/4. So they are very decent sizes for what you might want to use them for. And they also are going to be carrying our square framelits as well. So here's a couple of different ideas that you could do with the squares. So this one is another one where I already had a die set at home and a pair of stamps, and I just put them together on the front of a card with my shaker paint and some sequins. Keep it nice and simple. For the holidays, you could take a photo and add some string to them and make them their own self-contained ornaments, which I loved doing as a kid, adding ornaments to the trees with photos. You could take a die set that you already have and cut an aperture with a sentiment and then put the shaker paint behind. So then you get a whole new look with just adding a framelit underneath, or not a framelit, sorry, a shaker paint underneath. Here's 2 more with some existing matching sets on the market. So if you have beautiful frames that you might fit around the edge, or you can put them again behind something that you already have as a die cut, and add glitter and sequins and beads inside, and just make your own shaker pane cards. So those are our shaker panes, and they will be available at your local Hobby Lobby.
And of course, you're going to need something to put all of these wonderful items into. So let's go through the storage solutions that are going to be available at Hobby Lobby and see all the wonderful ways that you can fill your cart up with joy for others and for yourself this holiday season.
And last but not least is our storage options. So this first piece is the die, what we call the die storage solution, and it comes in this lovely mint julep right here, and it works with the other two elements I'm going to show you. This is a 9 by 10 size case, and it's about 3 3/8 inches deep. It is a really nice kind of material. It's very easily cleaned. You get a nice wraparound zipper. You can see this one's brand new. So you get the rings right here where you can kind of close them up. You get a nice zipper that goes around, and you are able to close it up very nice and smooth. But you'll see this one was empty. You also get on the side where you can add in whatever it might be. Let's say these are your alphabet sets, or these are winter dies or stamps, whatever you might be storing in here. So what's great about this is we also have packs of envelopes, the die storage envelopes, and they also come in the mint color, and they're in a 3-pack. Now these are size 6.5 by 8 1/4. So you get 3 in the pack, and they open top fold-wise, and then you're able to kind of shut them closed that way. So you can just slide your embossing folders in here, your stamps, your dies, whatever you might have. And then, I don't know why I closed this all the way, to show you how beautifully it opens and closes perhaps. I'm gonna just open this up, and then these are sized to work in here. So you can add, I would say, depending on how full these are, I could see you being able to add like 10 or 12 perhaps. I mean, there's 3, so you probably could get away with a little bit more than that. And you just line them up on your shelf, and you may have a really pretty mint julep organization system. What also fits inside of these die storage envelopes is the printed magnetic sheets. And these also come in a 3-pack, and they're sized 5 3/4 by 7 5/8. And what they look like is, on one side you get this really pretty printed mint julep. This is where you would store your stamps. So this is the side of it that would store your stamps. On the back side is a magnetic sheet, and this is where you would store your dies. So if you have stamp framelit sets like the ones I just showed in this video, then you would be able to store them like this. If you just want to use the magnetic side, you can. They slide right into these die storage envelopes, and then they go right in here. Quick and easy. You'll be organized in no time. A great gift for the holidays, especially if you're gifting someone who might have everything die-wise. Well, they might need some storage. And as you can see, these are really nice and compact, not too tall. They fit beautifully on a shelf. I have them all lined up here in the studio, so really pretty to use.
Thank you so much for joining me today. Like I said earlier, all of these items are now available at your local Hobby Lobby store. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. I'm really excited to see what everyone comes up with. So if you are going to be using any of these, or if you already have some of them, please use the hashtag #MySizzixStory when you are sharing your project ideas on socials, and we will be able to post them and show them to everyone else. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.